Hey family, how is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a minute, guys, but listen, I have been working. It's an election year, okay? And as an elected official, I am heavily involved in the election process, of course. So I was campaigning and helping other candidates in my area here in Bolivar County, Mississippi campaign during this election season. So I apologize for the delay. I know y'all don't like it. I don't like it either. But mama had to do some work, okay? But listen. I'm not gonna hold you guys long, but I wanted to discuss something. I wanted to let y'all know something, and let's have a conversation about it, okay? Now, y'all know I've done the video on John Gray and him and the other preachers that, got all these side women. And I have always distinguished John Gray from Jamal Bryant. And I've always held him in high regard, not because he's perfect, because he's not, but because when he caught, he did not get before the people and try to manipulate and flip the scriptures in order to justify his behavior. He didn't say the devil made him do it. He just accepted the fact that he was a man who had messed up, and he was willing to fess up and took the consequences as they come. Well, lately I have been watching Larry Reed live. Y'all know I like Larry Reed. And for the past few months, Larry Reed has been doing a lot of series on fatherlessness, right? And the effects that it has emotionally and spiritually on children who have these high profile daddies that won't acknowledge them, let alone spend any time with them. So I'm listening to these series over, time to time, and hearing the conversations that people are having about the fact that many of our homes are single family, and out of that single family, the majority of them are being ran by women. So I'm listening to Jamal preach on Father's Day. On Father's Day, and I'm hearing him preach, and I'm hearing him preach about daddies and daddies not being there, and daddies got to be there and got to be involved. He's preaching, and he preaches and says some things that provokes me to go into the comments and ask the question: what children or who children's is Jamal talking about? What daddy, who daddy is he talking about? Because now he got some extra children. That I've never seen him acknowledge. You can fess up that you messed up, but you don't want to acknowledge the product, the results of the mess up. Now, I got a problem with that. I asked that in the comments, and would you all not know that the next Sunday, or maybe one or two Sundays after Daddy Day Sunday, he brings out this beautiful young lady, says this is his middle child, believe he said. I have to go back and look at that video. Y'all go and look at that video and tell me if he said this was his middle child or his oldest child. He said that baby had been in college or was in college. But what I found interesting was this, y'all. He brought the young lady out on the stage. He introduces her to us as this being his either middle child or the oldest child. And then he walks away from the girl. I mean, he just leaves her standing there by herself for a little while. And then finally, I guess she gets the point or the picture that this is all that's going to happen. So let me leave. And she walks off the stage. Never to be seen or heard from again. Now, allegedly, he has a son out there that he fathered through one of his mess ups. And according to Larry Reed Live, allegedly, he is not putting forth any kind of time with this child because the mother wants him and is using the baby as a pawn. I cannot stand that game. I cannot stand that game. You can't make no man want you. You can't make no man love you. And you don't abuse, emotionally and mentally abuse a child, using that child as a pawn to try to control this man to make him do what you want him to do. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, it ain't right. It ain't right. Naturally, just humanly, it ain't right. And we know scripturally, it ain't right. Okay? Now, you made a decision to lay down with a man that didn't want you, that didn't love you, and allow yourself to get impregnated by this man and somehow think that because now I'm pregnant, he's somehow supposed to love me when he didn't love me before. No, having no baby don't make no man just turn into loving you. He might stay with you. He might even marry you. But you better be careful. You better be careful. You better be careful. Yeah. If you don't want me, you just don't want me. But you can do right by your child. Now, I understand that. I understand that situation if that is in fact the truth. All of this is allegedly because I got this from Larry Reed, so I don't know if this is true or not. I just know that the young lady posted the DNA results that they had to take because she sued him, took him to court. But even if that's the case, see, now the issue that I have at that level is this. Okay, you are keeping your distance because you do not want to be in a relationship with this woman. And every time you try to interject into the child's life or have a place or put some time in, here she comes with the foolishness about trying to be together, and that's not what you want. So, hey, there's just going to have to be some distance between me and the kid. I disagree. I think you take your hips down to the county courthouse, file you some visitation papers, and set out specific dates and times for you to spend time with your son. That's what you do. That's what you do. You make it a point that your son knows who you are and that you care, that you give a damn. And you don't allow your son to grow up not knowing who his daddy is, not knowing if his daddy care about him or not. Because the mama want to be with you and you don't want to be with the mama? No. Baby. You can go to court and get a visitation schedule put in place. And listen, y'all, in that visitation schedule, if you and the mama ain't getting along, guys, y'all listen to me. If you and the mama ain't getting along in your visitation schedule, you all can agree on a neutral person who can meet and drop the child off to make the exchange. Yeah, y'all can do that. You can meet at a public place so that you got witnesses in case somebody want to act a fool. But under no circumstances do you have an excuse for not putting forth a valiant effort to make sure that your children know who their daddy is. Now, I understand that the man's paying his child support on time, and that's good, and that's great. But ain't nobody gonna get me to believe that that is sufficient when it comes to raising a child, and particularly a male black child in today's society. If the daddy is able to be in the child's life, he needs to be in the child's life. So now, for that and that reason, Jamal, I got an issue with you now. If that is true, and I know you're listening to me because we ain't never seen this girl. I ain't never seen or heard of her, knew she existed. I knew he had some other children out there, but he has never brought them before the people. I make that comment, and a Sunday or two later, here she is. And if she that middle child, that means she came between Jamal Bryant's oldest girl and those twins. But she in college, so she can't be a middle child. Because neither of them children is college age yet. So she got to be the oldest child. Unless he got some more children out there we don't know about, and that's possible. I don't know. I just know that I appreciate the fact that he was willing to step up to the plate and acknowledge his wrong. But now I got a problem if you got the son out here and these other children out here, and the only children that you are parading out to the people, that you're putting before the people, are the three girls that you have with Giselle. Now, I can assume that you're doing that, and you kept, lately all of this show and having Giselle at the church and having the girls at the church and all this kind of stuff. And they were there on Daddy Day. Giselle brought the girls, and they were in the house at New Birth on Father's Day as Daddy was up there preaching, talking about what daddies ought to do for their children. And that bothered me because the only three children that I saw there were the three girls. Where are your other children? Why don't you talk about them? Why don't we know about them? I'm just asking. And if you guys know got more information about it, then tell me. Drop down in the comment section and straighten me out now, because I want to know. I still respect him. I still respect him. I believe that Jamal is doing his best to try to turn his life around. But if he is not acknowledging his children and does not have a space in their life, in their upbringing, I had a problem with that, guy. And it's just me and my opinion now. I ain't nobody to Jamal. I don't pay none of his bills. He don't depend on me for nothing. So it is what it is. But I know that if I'm thinking it and I'm feeling it, other people are too. Because at the end of the day, I watch him, I listen to him, I allow him to speak into my life. So come on, brother, I need you to be the best you can be. That's all. No harm, no foul, just be the best you can be. And if you can be better, then be better. And that ain't just to Jamal, that's to all of us. Anything, any area in our lives where we can be better, we just need to be better. Shucks. All right. Okay. All right. I guess all of this stuff about Giselle, and all that, I heard now. Allegedly. I don't know if you can call it allegedly when you see the folks out on the town hanging out like they're a couple. I think they're dating again now. So I get it. If I'm trying to get back with the woman that I cheated on and got a baby on, the last thing you want to do is bring up the I ain't calling these babies mistakes, but you just don't want to keep bringing that into the woman's space, reminding her of your mess up. I get that too. But at the end of the day, Giselle, if you're going to take him back, you have to accept the fact that he got these other babies that he needs to be a daddy to. So we either forgive and get on with it, or you don't forgive, don't try to rekindle anything, and then become a wedge between him and his fatherly duties and responsibilities to these other babies. Okay? Now that's my position. That's my point of view. Y'all know how we do it over here. You do not have to agree with me, but just please be respectful. I don't like booting folks out. I don't like deleting folks and all that other stuff. I want people to come over here and have the freedom to speak their minds, but we can do it respectfully. There's nothing we can disagree without being disagreeable, right? Ain't nobody got to cuss each other out, call folks out their name and all that kind of stuff. That's childish. It's ignorant. It's just not necessary. If that's all you got to give, then I just had to tell you, I need you to go and read the dictionary and get you some more words in your vocabulary so you can express yourself in a way that doesn't require you to be disrespectful. Okay? Listen, as always, guys, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your willingness to subscribe, to stay subscribed to the channel. Like I said, I got real jobs, guys, and sometimes that business pulls me away from being able to drop these videos. But I got a little bit of break. I got a few things I want to talk about, so I'm going to try to cut as many videos as I can and get them uploaded, so at least you guys will have a few videos to watch and look at until I can get back on my steady rotation. Okay? I appreciate the continued support. I appreciate the new subscribers. I appreciate the congregation that has hung in there this long. Thank you guys so very, 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 very much. Because without you guys, I wouldn't have nobody to talk to. So listen, drop down in the comment section and let me know what you think about this situation when it comes to fatherlessness, but in particularly to Jamal. He's not the only preacher out there now that got these side babies and don't acknowledge it. I just used him as the example because I'm always using him as the example of what to do when you mess up, or how to handle things when you mess up. And so that's why I used him as the example in this video to create a conversation about fatherlessness. What do you do? What do you do? You're married, you're pastoring, you're preaching, and you mess around and have an affair, and out of that affair is a baby. Do you acknowledge that child at all? Do you not acknowledge him? Hey, I'm sending my check. I'm sending my check. Don't ask for no more. Do you think that's acceptable? Do you think that's right? Do you think God is pleased with that? Or no? Or does it fall in the gray area? Yeah. All right, guys. Let me know what you think. As usual, I appreciate you. God bless you. And we will see you next time.